Hey guys, what is up? Spiff here, and as you may know, Player Unknown's Battlegrounds just released new photos of their desert map. I'm very excited to dive deep with you guys and show you what my thoughts and theories are on the map design. There's a lot of stuff I think other people are overlooking. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. All right, first up, looking at this picture, this one was probably the most eye-opening to me because I was expecting a really run-down, ugly-looking desert. With the early screenshots of the map, it just did not look pretty. It didn't look good. But with this new one, it reminds me a lot of Southern California. It's, you know, a nice big city surrounded by ugly desert. And that got me really excited. A lot of people are talking about how big these buildings are and how this is going to be like one of the main cities to loot in. I don't doubt that, but I hope that you guys aren't getting your hopes up thinking that all of these buildings are going to have 9 floors. If we look at the first screenshot that was ever released, teasing us of the desert map, these buildings all have 8 to 9 floors, but only the bottom 2 have windows that you can see through. And the reason why is because Player Unknowns himself said that these buildings are not going to have all of the floors playable, and they're doing that to better optimize the game. This is why there's fire escapes on all these buildings. It's because those floors are not accessible. So if you land on the roof, you're going to need a way down, and you can't do that by going through the building. So you're going to have to take the fire escape on the way down. So if you land up on these rooftops, be careful because you are going to have to go down the side of the building and leave yourself very open to everybody around you. So keep an optimization in mind. If you look at this photo, we see a lot of buildings, a lot of tall buildings, but we don't see any familiar buildings. No buildings are copied and pasted over from the previous map. And the reason I believe that is I had a game developer tell me that the reason why this game runs so poorly is because of the polygons in the buildings, or like the poly shapes. Look, I don't know what I'm talking about. He did. But basically, there's so many little shapes and stuff in each building that when they load in super slow, and it stresses out your computer. The only thing I can compare it to is if you imagine the Heaven benchmark. In the beginning, when you see the dragon load up, you see all of the poly shapes in his body, and that is meant to stress your GPU, whereas a video game is not. So I feel like that's how they modeled all their buildings, and that's why the game runs so poorly. So it looks like they started fresh here with all new models. If you look in the back, we see warehouses, but those are not the same warehouses that we have in the current map. So it looks like they're completely going through and redoing every single building, which I really respect and appreciate. And it does make sense of why this map is taking so long to be released. Now, moving on, they said that when they built this map, they were keeping vaulting in mind, unlike the original map where they didn't know if they're going to have vaulting. So that map, it was really clunky. It doesn't really work well, and that's why it's so delayed, because they said that it was going to be released 2 weeks ago, and we still haven't gotten anything. But this map, they said that they're keeping it in mind, and I can actually see that in this screenshot, because if you look, there's this green tarp covering something on this balcony, and it looks like you can easily jump up on that and then jump through the window next to it to kind of do a surprise matrix sneak attack on your enemies, which is really cool. Looking at this photo, I don't see any more real mirror edgy looking like jump spots, but I'm sure that they're going to have them in this map. So when the map does release, you can expect me to do a full review and find as many of the jump spots and hidden things as I possibly can. So stay tuned for that. If we look at this photo, we see a little house in the middle of nowhere. And again, it's not one of the little houses that are copied and pasted over from the other map. This is a whole new model. And it looks like this might be the change that we need to make the game run better. So I'm hoping that with these new optimized models, they make their way back to the original map to make that map run better, which I don't see why they wouldn't. But that does mean that we're not going to have the original map anymore. I think we're going to lose the original map the way it is, and they're going to have to redo all the cities with new models in place. And so it's going to affect the whole way that that map is played. So the last one I want to touch up on is this little strip mall here. It looks great. And if you notice along the rooftops, it definitely looks like you're meant to be able to run and jump and kind of parkour your way along the whole top, which could be really good play if you land on the rooftop of one of them, pick up your loot, and just kind of parkour your way across the top of all of them, picking up as much loot as you can. But that's basically it for this video. There's only so much speculating that we can do, and only Bluehole and Player Unknowns actually know what's going to be in the map and how the map is going to function. But that leaves me with a question for you guys. What do you think that construction is in the background? Do you think they're trying to send us a secret message or something? Leave it in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. If you guys like this video, please make sure to hit like. If you didn't, feel free to dislike. If you haven't already, subscribed to the channel. I'm trying to pump out as much content for you guys as possible. If you have an idea of a video that you want to see made, please leave it in the comment section down below and I'll try to get to it. This has been Spiff and I'm out. Peace.